Yeah, this is like one of the oldest maps there is. We're already at the 10-minute warm-up. I thought we'd have a little bit more time in map script. That's fine. But yeah, no, I've done a lot with this map over the years just to see how things go. So already on warm-up, but yeah, we'll kick this off. So what's up, guys? Wee Woo here. And it's going to be about 70-person PvP Operation 35v35. Russians on the OPFOR side versus Italians on the Blue 4 side here. Just looking at both of these guys. The main mods that are being used for this one are, other than, you know, the OFCRA group's main mod, which is just for, like, debug reasons and stuff, it's IFA Faces of War, and then a more modern Italian mod, just to get something specific, either with the weapons or possibly the fancy hats there, just to add that nice little bit of detail, because I don't recognize that hat itself. But it looks like we have bolt-action rifles. I want to say Kar 98's there, and I'm also seeing some Bren guns, which I think might just be to facilitate whatever the machine gun, or excuse me, automatic rifle was for the Italian forces on that. But yeah, they interrupted the briefing on the map, so we're just going to have more time on the warm-up. But it's pretty much going to be a World War II operation here. We see some guys with some German clothes on. I think they're still meant to be Italians with those MP40s, but that looks to be some sort of tank crew, because they actually do have a Panzer IV and a transport truck. Interesting. So they have an armor asset to help them with here. I'm also seeing some G43s on some of the players here for the leadership elements. That's pretty nice, but it's a good mix of weaponry for the Italians here. I like it. Now, looking over on the OPFOR side, we have, for the Soviets, they get a two different scout cars, actually. So a captured half-track, which still has that German MG34 on it. And we have, actually no, it's an MG42, my bad. And we have a Lend-Lease US scout car also being used. But interesting enough, they don't have anything armor-wise to deal with that tank. So Blue 4 getting the advantage there vehicle-wise with the strongest thing on the map. We're also seeing some red spray cans being used to draw X's on the ground. But we're also seeing, it looks like every squad gets a bazooka, because we are seeing that with the, I mean, just I saw 3 on the map per se. I'm going to try to do another head count with that. Yeah, so there it is. So I'm not sure if this is part of a bazooka team meant to try to fight the tank, or if they are going to be assisted on the squad level. So we'll see that in a bit. They're also saying in chat, only long ranges are being used. We saw the German backpack long range, and the Soviets have this side backpack here, and they're screaming not to use short ranges. So they're trying to keep this pretty realistic, which is nice. But we have a nice mix of, looks like Mosin Nagant's DP-20... DP-23s for the machine gunners, and then PPSHs, some American Lend-Lease bazookas to make it more fair than using the Russian AT grenades, which is fine. And I'm not seeing any other weaponry here for the Russian tier. So basically, both sides have bolt-action rifles. The squad leaders for the Italians, excuse me, seem to have G43s, but the real Chads on the Russian side get PPSHs with that nice drum magazine. You can also tell who the leadership elements are based off of these helmets, so that's pretty cool. And then, of course, you have the custom face wear that people can bring in. So we have some, like, modern 2035 shades on these dudes. That makes them look pretty dapper, if you ask me. That's pretty good. And I'm already starting to see people come in on chat. Welcome, welcome. Again, it's a 5-minute delay, so I'll get to any questions you guys pose to me as I see them. But otherwise, let's talk about today's operation objectives. So, first and foremost, there was a little bit of lore written up to say that this is one of the battles outside of, or post, it's either during or post Stalingrad, where the Russians are either defending or counterattacking. And this is part of the Italians' last wave to show that they are pushing equal weight on the Axis side. At least what Mussolini's trying to do to convince Hitler that he is still worth having around. But regardless, let's get to the actual objectives here. So there are 3 things marked on the map right here. There is a radio, which is a simple item radio which has an ace interaction with. It is right here. So an Italian player needs to come up and do an ace interaction with this item. I'm not sure if there's going to be a timer tied to it or if it's just going to be instantaneous. So Russians have to defend this radio. They also have to defend a supply point over here, which I believe is in the picture of a canteen. I don't know exactly where it is, but it is a pick-upable item. I just cannot find it right now. So we'll see, you know, where the Russians defend. They're going to probably find it and then be able to hold it. But the Italians are also trying to get supplies from this position. And then there is a neutral train station right here that either side has to try to capture and hold till the end of the op. And those are the 3 main ways that either side can get points. So first and foremost, and I have this written in the exclamation point mission command, but if either side holds this train station till the end of the mission, they get 3 points. If the Italians are able to capture the radio or the supplies, it's 2 points apiece. If the Russians are able to deny the Italians from getting both objectives, they get 2 points. And then you have your supremacy goals. So if the Russians are able to kill all but 5 or fewer Italians, they get 4 points to balance out there's 2 objectives that the Italians can get for 2 points. And then if the Italians get all but 5 of the Russians, they get 2 points for that as well. So maximum amount of points the Italians can get is 2 for the radio, 2 for the supplies, 2 for killing all the Russians, and 3 for the train station, which would be 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 points total. Maximum points the Russians can get is 2 points for defending both the radio and the supplies, 4 points for killing... a little bit of a script lag there with starting 3 minutes. But 4 points for killing all but 5 Italians, and 3 points for holding the train station. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 points total. So 9 to 9. But with these strategies, you're going to probably see the Italians more likely go for a single sweeping strategy that I like to call it, where they do it objective at a time rather than a pincer maneuver, because all the Russians need to focus on is killing the Blue 4 Italian players, while Blue 4 needs to focus on just grabbing stuff. So Blue 4 can afford to focus less on actually focusing on the enemy players. Blue 4 just needs to focus more on objective playing today, whereas Op 4 needs to focus more on just trying to divide the Italian forces where they can and taking out everyone that they see. The one difficulty we're going to see here, though, is Blue 4 has the tank. Blue 4 has a Panzer 4, and they have a transport truck. So we'll just have to see how the Russians are going to be able to counter with their Lend-Lease bazookas this one tank. But if Blue 4 can play their cards right, this tank will be one hell of an asset to deal with. Now, do note, though, it is a little foggy in the distance. Not too much, but it could be a factor here. Furthermore, the commander for the Panzer IV is going to need to turn out to try to spot targets for this thing. I don't know what its exact ammo count is, but I would assume it has AP rounds, probably not HE rounds, but it definitely has the frontal machine gun and the coax. But how many units do we have in the tank crew? We already have a guy dead, which is kind of funny, but I think he respawned. That or they're just kicking his body because they're supposed to be set to invincible for this phase. But I'm trying to find this tank crew right now. It appears to be a 2-man tank crew of just a driver and a gunner. So maybe they're going to get with the command team to try to turn that out properly. And I am seeing parts of a Maxin machine gun part of this command team too, so that might come into play. A little interesting to see how that's going to be used today, because these guys are the attacking faction, so I'll be curious to see how that Maxin is used. But otherwise, not a bad call. I'm going to quickly look on the Russian side, Russian forces here. I didn't see any backpack statics, but it would be really nice if they had some sort of machine gun, Dushka or a Maxin would be really, really helpful. But it looks like they're testing that 50 cal. They're testing the... actually, it sounded like it was coming from the MG42 instead. But yeah, defensive machine gun would be pretty useful for these guys. But we'll see how things go. Yep, that's the MG42 just firing out to get some ranging. And there we go. Mission has started. So before I start anything, first off, Alexander, thanks for the 100 bits. And Jack Jesse, thanks for the 17-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations to the both of you. And I hope you get a kick out of this one. So right off the bat, we're seeing some vehicles charging forward here. I've also got one guy off my roster. It could be that that is an AI unit, which is just going to have to be something extra that the players deal with. It looks like they were also testing some trench dugouts here too. And unfortunately, someone just got disconnected as soon as the mission started, so unfortunately, they won't be able to play. That sucks. Also, just a reminder, guys, the vehicles, all the views in them are first person. There is no third person anywhere. So, you know, with some of these IFA vehicles, they're going to get really tunnel vision, especially the tank and driving. So we'll just have to see how that goes. I did also hear a bayonet animation. It's a very distinctive Faces of War bayonet animation. Yeah, so that was Mr. Dave testing it out on his Mosin Nagant. So I would love to see a bayonet kill in this PvP fight. I doubt we're going to see it, but if we could get a bayonet kill, that would be amazing. Excuse me. But regardless, we have... OPFOR was given 2 half-tracks, so that's actually going to let them get into these AOs a lot quicker so they can start getting a defensive advantage. I can see where the mission maker was going with this, so that OPFOR gets, since both of the groups started away from the central area, OPFOR starting a bit closer, they can just follow the train line up and, you know, take these spots and put a decent defense down, whereas the Italian Blue 4 units have quite a bit of time to, you know, get from their spawn to these positions. I'm also noticing that for the Blue 4 guys, they're already deploying about a squad's worth of dudes, 2 distinct fire teams here. You could argue that these are actually 2 squads themselves. Well, they are starting to head south, probably to hit the supplies. Meanwhile, a full truck's worth of dudes, 10 plus 1, so 11, and the tank a little far behind because it's obviously slower, are coming in, but they do have that command team with them and a few guys on the back seat there. So 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so this is a 2-man tank crew, no commander. That's going to be really tough for them to spot targets. They're going to have to work with probably that machine gun team sitting on their rear to help coordinate where targets are going to be for them to hit. And then we also have a bunch of dudes. They were holding fast on the crossroads here, but it looks like they're going to head up the road. We'll probably see that one truck, after deploying a bunch of dudes, come back and pick this group of infantry up. How many are they? It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so they should all be able to fit in a second truck go. And I don't know why this guy's here. He's probably AFK, but maybe he'll wake up and join that, because it'll still be a single slot ready for him. And we'll see how this group gets into the AO. But OPFOR already starting to deploy a few forces around. Looks like one of the half-tracks was actually coming in to drop these guys off. Curious how that thing is still standing, but I guess that's part of the... it's not a physics thing, that's actually just a blown-up texture, so that's kind of funny. But these guys are starting to set up some trenches around this position. The radio position itself, not a bad spot. The one issue with it, though, is that it's a very big position to defend. Looking around, I mean, there's open fields to the northwest, which, you know, create some good kill zones. There's a little bit of a drop over to the northeast, but we've got some good overwatch towers on it. But these can also be death zone, little kill zones, especially if that tank comes around. But it would be at least good for scouting. Maybe the second stories of this building would actually fare a little bit better for scouting things out and firing from, because, you know, the radio is in that building. But this is a massive perimeter to hold, but it does have a lot of open areas around it that it can, you know, if the Russians deploy their forces right, they can easily catch some Italians in the open and get some free kills, because remember, this is one life. So not a bad AO. It's just a little on the heavier side for, you know, a minimum of troops needed to properly defend it. And, you know, we only have 5 guys right here right now, so that's probably not going to hold too well. We're waiting on those reinforcements from OPFOR. So I think the reason we're seeing minimum garrisons, it was actually just the half-track. Surprised the half-track came that quick, but I think they're actually No, so they're one's going to one AO, one's going to the other, and they are funneling dudes that are coming up the train rail to these positions. So half-track group bringing in more guys to potentially defend. No, they're actually going to push past, and I do notice the position that the this is the scout car. My apologies. The half-track dropped off a group of dudes down here to potentially set up a blocking position. Now, it's been a while, guys, since our previous OFCRA op, but the last one we did, where it was the Middle East, British versus Taliban, the defending faction made a really critical mistake. It was the Taliban defending against a British offensive, but the Taliban deployed so many forces at such a great perimeter that they really stretched themselves thin. And my fear with this is we're seeing what's probably going to be a minimal garrison, or probably no one in there yet, because you don't have to hold that till the end of the AO itself, and then two wide groups of going north and south, which I kind of get, but at the same time, the Italians are going to mainly be on foot here. So putting forces this far out is really risky because it just leaves a lot of holes for the Italians to come up on. I mean, if they were to just come in from the direct route on the east, they'd have all of these buildings to move through and potentially get to both AOs because there's no one watching this vector. But my question is that too obvious for the Italian forces to go through? And that's why they're putting these wide flanks down. Because you also have to understand, OFCRA, like FNF, they've been going on for quite a while. So people who take leadership positions know the other people that take leadership positions. So even though we have this obvious route in to this AO, it might be too obvious for the commander to actually focus on it, thinking that the enemy commander is going to obviously counter that route. But the enemy commander, knowing that that commander isn't going to take that route because he thinks it's going to be countered, now knows that he doesn't need to put anything down right here and instead will counter where he believes that that commander will go. So, as someone that hasn't really covered that many of these ops looking in, it's hard for us to gauge why the commanders make these decisions and how they're able to sometimes counter each other so well, even though it looks like from, you know, a eye in the sky view that it's really silly, but at the same time it's because these people know each other really well and know how to counter each other properly. And I think we're actually going to see now an OPFOR force get deployed either over here or somewhere over here, because OPFOR is going to be doing some sort of circle defense, like semicircle, to make sure all routes are covered. And what's going to be smart about that is once one group reports contact, the other group in the area will be close enough to be a flanking force, and it's a maneuver force, actually, and then flank around and deliver enfilading fire on the attacking Blue 4 group, and hopefully they'll be able to clean up the enemy force quick enough to still be effective. When I say them, I mean OPFOR being effective in that case, but at that point, it's going to come down to the PvP, especially in a World War II sense where you have bolt-action rifles and you got to make every shot count. But OPFOR is doing a really good job right now trying to make some defensive lines here and also hiding in the bushes at angles that are really difficult to spot, because at that, I can't even tell where he is. We even have the marker on him. But, I mean, he just looks like part of the, you know, the underbrush of the bush itself, but he clearly has a good line right out here. I can't even see the orange of his gun. So really good positioning made by OPFOR. And they've also done a really good job trying to layer their trenches behind the bushes so they can have some layers of cover in the middle of their concealment. But anyway, Rossi, thanks for the 5-month resub, my man. I hope you keep enjoying the ops. Hope you're staying safe from COVID, and I hope you get a kick out of this PvP stream. And Alexander, I believe that is 100 more bits with Irish Clovers. Thank you, man. Did I just say that? 4-leaf clovers, Irish clovers. I mean, look at the Irish either way. But looking back on the map, Blue 4 looks like they're doing a 2-to-1 pincer maneuver strategy where they've got 2/3 of their force to the north and 1/3 of their force to the south. So what this is they're trying to, It's a mix of the pincer maneuver strategy and the... Wait a second. Is that a pack? No, that's the machine gun. That's the, yeah, it's the Maxin. It looked like, with those big lines on the back, it looked like a pack 40, but that's actually a 50 cal marker for the Maxin, so that's kind of funny, but that's just a map. It's just an asset thing. I thought that was like an actual pack gun, too. I'm like, why do they have a pack gun if they have the tank? But we have some of the crew for the tank turning out, trying to look around with those binos, with that massive gun looking that way, too. But Blue 4, as I was saying, with the 2-to-1 strategy, it's kind of trying to take both the effective abilities of a pincer maneuver and trying to take the effective abilities of a single wave attack or a sweep attack. I call it so many different things, but basically they put a lot of forces on one of the pincers and they try to use that higher number to still overwhelm a spread thin enemy. Meanwhile, there's still some sort of Blue 4 force, or attacking force, excuse me, on a different angle that's going to come in to still test the resolve of whatever the defending faction has decided to do. The goal of it, usually, is that this major force will start attacking the northern side, pulling units away from other angles to then let this strike team force, whatever the, you know, the bottom half of the pincer is, come in and try to sneak in and do objectives. Will this pull units from the southern side? I doubt it. I think they're going to keep this battle line going, potentially pull maybe one of these groups. Worst comes to worst, one group's going to fall back to hold the supplies, and the other groups are going to form a pincer attack of their own, where one half holds and the other one maneuvers and destroys, but we'll have to see how that unfolds. But not a bad strategy by Blue 4 here, trying to dynamically bait more aggressors to defend against this attack wave. So we'll have to see how that goes. Then even within this attack wave, it looks like they're going to separate their infantry forces here into a pincer attack of their own. One group heading for what appears to be a northeastern approach, and the other group potentially going for a northern approach. The one issue with that northern group, though, is they are going to get... They're going to have a lot of resistance to deal with here, and they do have the scout car right here that's a bit hidden. Once you actually get it out in the open, it sticks out like a sore thumb, but they're building a trench for it right in the middle of the road to hold it. What I'll be curious to see is if that tank is then ordered to push around to that northern group. We're actually seeing it follow the northeastern force right here. And we got two guys right here digging trenches. I'm going to look on this guy's binos. He just had them on, those Blue 4 guys, but whether or not they were far enough away to be seen is anyone's guess. Oh, and don't remind me about the 10-page paper. It's going. I'll finish it after these streams, man. Oh. So I thought Ariel might have seen some of those forces, but I don't think so. I'm not seeing him try to point things out. He's not sending a runner back to that group, because again, there's no short-range radios. So when they separate out like this, they will have to send people back to find someone with a long range to then tell everyone else. So if Blue 4 is able to, you know, snipe out a few dudes, especially with the long-range radios, they could definitely help cut off Op4's communication lines and make it harder for the southern group and the northern group to communicate. Still, though, the sound of gunshots will probably be tell enough, and if the you know, squad leader can't then hail the northern group to ask what's going on, that's probably a good indicator. But it's also going to be really important for Op4 to step up on the radio if they need to. Let's say, who's the LR guy right here? NASA. Let's say NASA gets shot, but Op4 is still able to hold the lines here. Op4 might think that, you know, just because they don't have radio communication with the northern group, they might commit some more forces up here when they didn't really need to, because no one just stepped up on the radio to communicate it, and they would have opened a gap for this Blue 4 force to come in. So there's a lot of ways this can go wrong on either side, but it's just going to come down to who has the better PvP and who's going to have the better communication. Also, Rar, thanks for the 8-month resub, my man. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. Or wait, was it Rar or was it Racer? I think it was Racer, actually. I'm sorry. it's the numbers in my brain, but I hope you keep enjoying the operations, man. Hope you get a kick out of this PvP stream. I know a lot of people in chat seem to get excited when they saw it was World War II PvP, because I know a lot of people have been asking for it for Friday Night Fights, but I don't control FNF, but I know OFCRA, they do a mix of real modern-day PvP and World War II PvP. We just haven't been covering the World War II stuff because I just haven't been available at those times. But now that we are available every week to do this, then we can, start covering some of the World War II stuff. And they are an open join group, by the way. So if you do ! OFCRA, I do know that they do accept join-ins. The difference between OFCRA and FNF is mainly two, I would say. Number one is the use of vehicles are... Actually, no, I'm gonna... How do I put it? OFCRA, you use a lot more vehicle. You see a lot more vehicle use, and you see a lot more static use compared to Friday Night Fights. Just a lot more variation. There's a lot of stuff that can be seen as unfair in FNF that is used in OFCRA because it's just assets. At that point, for example, the last one we covered, it wasn't Taliban versus British. It was that Greek versus Turkish one. We saw the Greek attacking force start using tow missile launchers. Those things slapped, man. But those were able to destroy a lot of the Turkish armor that was on that map. But there's a lot more asset use in OFCRA. That's reason number one. Reason number two is the rounds, instead of a traditional 50-minute you see in Friday Night Fights, the rounds in OFCRA go to 2 hours. So there is a lot more tactical placement of your infantry as commanders. And if you get hit early on and lose a lot of guys, it is very difficult to recover from that because you only get 1 round with your 2 hours, whereas in FNF there's 3 rounds for like 3.5 hours. So it's a lot more slow-paced, but there's a lot more maneuvering, but there's a lot more tactics involved. So I think it's good to cover both events because it shows you just the difference of A, the 2 events, and B, just the range of what you can do with PvP. I would say to continue going up that scale would be something like CCO, that Coalition does. But I'm probably never going to be able to spectate that one. But that is 6 hours of multi-life PvP over a large objective. But the real slog of it is the long time frame, as well as you get a lot of vehicle assets and static assets to use. So I'm just flying around right now. We're watching this northern group evolving into... Looks like the forces are actually coming a bit closer together here. I thought this Eastern attack force would continue on, maybe swing a bit south, but they are committed to holding to the north. So I got to commend OPFOR here for properly predicting Blue 4's attack. My question, though, is this Blue 4 force to the south, these 2 squads, are they going to immediately attack from the south and make this a true north-to-south pincer maneuver? Or are we going to see them swing around and try to come in from the southwest to try to bypass these lines? But I think Blue 4 is instead going to follow this little riverbed here. And that's going to lead them pretty much right on top of a few OPFOR guys. Only 3 holding this one area, but they'll be able to overpower that. The question is, can these OPFOR guys then turn and engage those forces? They do have the MG42 half-track here, though, and that can be really, really nasty for the Blue 4 forces if they come in. But we only have one of the squads going up that route. We got another one staying back right here. And the fog is actually picking up. Look at that. So I didn't say that it would be a bit of an issue, but that has reduced visibility down to about 100 meters maximum with some of the trees going out. That's only in the southern area. The northern area, I think the fog isn't as bad. It's because the southern area kind of goes downhill a little bit. But it's still, I would say, up to 150 meters, give or take. So a lot of room for that tank to still maneuver things with. But Blue 4, I don't think they want to try going in this open area here, because they're thinking OPFOR is going to be a lot more defensive in this zone itself, but they're going to end up following that other half of the pincer here and potentially coming in from this group of buildings, which will in turn bypass the OPFOR guys here. But we'll have to see. Another thing that's important to note is that those trenches are very, very open, in the sense that they can be spotted from very far away. They're very obvious. That would have been a better word to better term to use. So if Blue 4 properly spots this trench line, they can just go around it. They don't have to engage it. They could literally just go around it, bypass that defense line, and just attack from a different angle or try flanking it for a bunch of free kills. You got to remember, though, Blue 4 has to play objectives today. They get the most points when they complete objectives. Op4 gets the most points when they get all but 5 of the Italian guys killed. So the best way Blue 4 can play this is if they try to minimize their aggressiveness and instead just go for objectives. And then just form a defensive perimeter around the train station, or at least areas around the train station, especially the buildings and the fenced-off areas. But OPFOR are also building a bit of a defensive line in here to try to hold this spot. Is that potatoes? Nice. So, again, shout-outs to the OPFOR commander for properly predicting that Blue 4 was going to do a northern and southern attack and not take the direct route in, and he didn't really commit anything to that side. And shout out to Blue 4 for, even though their route was properly predicted by OPFOR, they are still maneuvering a lot of guys around to try to probe OPFOR's defenses. And we got one guy, looks like he is he was either AFK or whatnot, but he's now going to walk in. And this guy, I did see him move, but I don't know if he'll come in at that point. So a lot of good maneuvering here. Zombie asking, who do I think has the advantage? And that was 5 minutes, in the stream delay. I'm going to be honest, I think Blue 4 has the advantage with the tank, but it's going to really depend on how they commit to that tank. If they keep it on the higher ground, and they use it as a much more long-range asset to deny OPFOR the ability to maneuver on it with AT, I think they'll be able to pretty much overpower anything OPFOR comes up with. However, once OPFOR starts getting into this town area, that tank is going to be near useless. And that's another thing that I've kind of feared about OPFOR's strategy, is committing forces out in the open where they can get chewed up by that tank. I think OPFOR, a safer strategy would have been to utilize the town perimeter a bit more, but we'll have to see how it all unfolds. So if I were to give someone the advantage right now, I would say Blue 4, just because they have the biggest asset on the field. And OPFOR doesn't really have any proper way to counter it right now without getting too close. So I'm not sure if these guys have noticed that small fortification line up here. I doubt it, because they actually shrunk the trench down a bit. They've got Hood digging a few more, but these guys could potentially spot each other if Blake were to look a little more to the right through that little opening in the bushes here. So it's hard to tell where first contact's going to be. I think it's going to be to the south, though, because Blue 4 have been trying to go a little more around this position to bypass what I can only assume they spotted out that defense line right there because it was just too obvious. Yeah, so they're also looking around up here, making sure that that's all clear. And then this force, I will assume, is also flanking wide to come in from the southwest. So again, we're going to see a lot of OPFOR defensive lines get bypassed. The question is going to become, how are they going to pull back? Are they going to pull back and make new defensive lines, or are they going to try to flank the attacking forces and do significant casualties? Because again, OPFOR needs to focus on kills today, because that's how they get the most points. But I would definitely bank on the fact that the Italians are going to get one of these two objectives. Doing a perfect like that is nigh impossible, all things considered. Like, a lot of things have to go right for OFCRA to deny Blue 4 both of those objectives. So instead, they should just purely focus on an aggressive strategy. That's also why you're not seeing that many guys actually defending the objectives themselves. They're all kind of out and about on this massive external defensive line. So I think they're just going to focus on trying to encompass Blue 4 attack waves and kill them off so they can, you know, get to that supremacy victory, as it's called, where you get those points for killing off most of the enemy faction. But we're already 25 minutes in. Remember, there was a 10-minute safe start, so 25 minutes, I mean, would have been half of an FNF round, and it was solely dedicated to maneuvering. If this was FNF, we would have already seen some bit of combat somewhere, either by recon or whatnot. But, I mean, 25 minutes is only a little under a fourth of the time in an OFCRA op, so, you know, half of the time in an OFCRA op can just be spent maneuvering, making sure you're in the perfect position to attack and counter based off of that, so. I just kind of wish we didn't have the stream delay so that we could talk in real time and, you know, give our 2 cents with each other. But it happens, you know, it's understandable. They want that down so people won't cheat. And I'm actually kind of impressed that no one's directly spotted each other yet. The Blue 4 guys, I was expecting them to find one of these defensive lines, but I'm not sure they have. I could be wrong, though. But I definitely think OFCRA has spotted or thinks they see some Blue 4 guys right here. Because we have a defensive group coming down to reinforce this angle. I don't know if they're going to try to push that spot or if this is just dumb luck. I will say, though, that submachine gun at close range would annihilate some of these Italian forces. And that's another balancing thing. That even though Blue 4 have the biggest asset in the AO, squad level-wise, OFCRA has the best gun per squad. Most of these weapons are bolt action and stuff, but compare the weapon of choice for Blue 4 squad leaders is only a G43, which I believe is a 10-shot semi-auto rifle. And I also think they have spotted the OFCRA group over here. Yeah, this fortification line. And I believe these guys have also spotted the Blue 4 group. So that's why you're seeing this reinforcement line over here. Both groups have spotted each other, but no one has opened up yet because they are just outside of range. So you're going to start seeing tracers going out on both sides here. OFCRA has a bit of a better defensive line here because Blue 4 doesn't have any room to maneuver, and if they overextend, they're going to get cut off from different angles. I'm just not sure if Blue 4 has spotted the other group yet. But as I was saying, Blue 4 only has the Bren. They don't have any, like, MG32s and stuff, so that's only a 30-round magazine, whereas the DP25 is, like, I think a 39 or a 49-round drum on the top. And, you know, OFCRA also has the PPSHs, which the squad leaders, it appears they get the 71 or 73-round drum mag. It's one of those two numbers. And then the team leaders get the 35 or 30-round drum mag. Not drum, stick mags. So OFCRA can put out a lot more fire a lot more quickly with the PPSHs, but they can also sustain that fire with the slow fire speed of the DP23. Plus, they have the MG42 on this half-track. So if they can keep sustained fire on Blue 4, they could potentially make Blue 4 route. There's no cost to Blue 4 routing because they have this easy way to get out. But that buys time for this other Blue 4 force to come in. Now, what would be interesting is maybe Blue 4 hasn't fired yet to buy time for this other squad to come up and potentially hit this element on the rear, since most of these guys are focusing at that angle. If Blue 4 could get a free squad wipe with minimal casualties on them, that could easily give them an early on advantage in this PvP fight, because again, it's one life. So,
send in goats.
Blink of an eye, things can shift balance of power here. So even though, again, Blue 4, in my opinion, has the slight advantage here, it It can shift either way, and I think Blue 4 is actually going to think about pulling back here. They're covering their exit strategy in case Op4 is trying to do a wide flank. Op4 instead actually pushed up and put a little bit of a vanguard team right here to prevent Blue 4 from moving up. But Blue 4 is going to try to do the smart thing here and pull out. But what they have gained is they took all of Op4's attention over there. Op4 doesn't think there's another part of the pincer moving up, and this pincer is now free to actually move up and take the supply point unmolested. But Jollypill, thanks for the 14-month resub, my man. Hope you keep enjoying the ops. I am doing all right. How are you doing? And this is one of 3 streams we're going to be doing today. It's this PvP stream. We've got a Zeus op with Paw Patrol. It's going to be Phase 4 of the Serrani campaign. And then if that finishes up on time, we can also stream the TMTM op on the ground. So a big variation of Arma content today. Commentating, Zeusing, and playing. And I hope you guys enjoy it. I also find it interesting how Blue 4 hasn't fired a shot yet. I would think if they want to buy a distraction for this group to move in, they would at least put some pot shots on this group. But instead, since they know they've seen each other, actually they might not even know that Op4 spotted them, but I would bet if they're looking that direction, they saw a bunch of guys go guns up at that angle. I would think that firing the guns would actually, you know, pull more heads, but instead they're just kind of staring at each other. Which I guess historically makes sense, because Italians were some of the worst fighters in World War II, so they just don't have the heart to shoot, you know? Why is there a delay? Well, Zombie, when you get to this part, the reason there is a delay is because the managers of the OFCRA events have asked me to put it on to try to prevent people from stream sniping. It's the only PvP event I know of where I have to put this delay down, but that's their rule for me streaming. So it's either I do it and I can stream, or I don't do it and they don't let me stream. So we just got to work with it. Oh gosh, some of the squad leaders get that gun. That's God, that's a very specific weapon. I forget what it is. It's I believe it's an IFA one, but it is a little, it's a carbine. Oh, that's cute. I didn't even notice they had those. I mean, it's still on the... actually, I think a G43 would be better because it has a higher caliber than that thing. But I could be wrong. But they get the cute little commander carbine. I didn't even notice. But we're starting to see Blue 4. They're going to pathfind their way out, potentially try to circle around and follow where the other Blue 4 force has gone. Meanwhile, looking over at Op 4 here, I believe they have pulled... No, they didn't pull back from that defensive line. They're keeping it there for now. But they have some Op 4 guys that have maneuvered to try to hold this town area, as we have Blue 4 pushing in, leading with that tank. Tank is looking on the right, looking at another Blue 4 group. Not sure if they're thinking that's hostile or not. But I find this interesting how the pincers have kind of come around, and they are now attacking from the northwest and the southwest. And then this Blue 4 group, they were slow to maneuver. I think they were talking to make a decision with the other half of this southern pincer attack. These 3 guys are coming back up. I think they're going to... I doubt they're going to make an offensive action. If they do, they're going to wait for this group to kind of maneuver up and hit these guys from the rear. But I think Op4 is playing this a little too loosely in the fact that they're thinking this is the entirety of the Blue 4 force right here. They're not realizing that there could potentially be another force coming in. We see guys, you know, pulling security and looking around, but realistically, if I was a squad leader and I was told there was a group of bad guys over there and they were staying there, like past 5 minutes, no shot fired, I would be willing to bet that someone is about to get engaged on their rear. Because that's really ominous to be looking at the bad guys and just see them wait there, you know? And just move around, scout your position out, you see them. But when you're the defending faction, you gotta be wary of a potential outflank. And these guys don't have any good security here. It's gonna come down to the PvP again because Blue 4 will be able to get right on top of the spot. But if Blue 4 were to steal this MG42 half-track, that could be a game changer, because now they have greater mobility, and they have one of the machine guns on the field. We're seeing another trench line being dug on this road. I think Mr. Cool might have spotted out the tank up there. Yeah, he is ranging shots. So he is the medic too, so that's a little worrisome. You don't want the medics to be on the front line without cover. He is pointing those out too. So I think they have spotted the tank right here.
Let's give him a warm welcome.
But the tank gunner is still looking... He's looking in that direction now. He's looking right again. I think they're still confused about their own guys here, but if you were to look down that front viewport, he would see those trenches being dug. Tank almost got Arma there. It is now driving up with infantry. You generally don't want to have the tank nearby infantry because that thing can overpressure people. And you're also seeing that the truck for Blue 4 was taken by some additional Blue 4 guys, and they are doing some more maneuvering with it. You know, it wouldn't be a bad strategy to get on this railway, come into the town, and then, you know, you can just move cover to cover here. That would not be a bad call at all, but it looks like Blue 4... They're not going to have this group come down and assist. It is just going to be up to them to continue pushing up this riverbed, again, to get right on top of the objective. And that's not a bad call at all. So these guys are purely playing a distraction effort. But I love how you can have a force play a distraction without firing a single shot. I don't think I've actually ever seen that before in an Arma operation, period. Because it would have to be PvP, because AI would automatically start firing at you unless you said it that way. But that's pretty interesting. I mean, just based off of this alone, I'm going to rethink a few of my IFA things, because that says a lot. So Op4, they know that that tank just moved left, so we're actually seeing some of these guys dynamically look around and find the lines. And I think, yep, Op4 has spotted that Blue 4 force coming around. By the way, if I say Op4, I also mean Russian. If I say Blue 4, I also mean Italian. So they're going to be able... They now know that there is a Blue 4 force coming around this angle, but that is not the only force. That's only half of the force here. This other half might try to come in from this... Yep, they're probably going to come in from the west and try to take this position, which might also explain why this group is being so slow. They might try to hit both at the same time in a pincer. So that's why this Blue 4 force is right here. It's purely distraction, distracting all the Op 4 guys, trying to make them reposition to hit this one squad. It's potentially a sacrifice play, because again, the Italians just have to capture those two objectives and then hold the train yard, and then they can win. Is that worth sacrificing a squad for? Perhaps. But at the end of the day, it's the Op 4 guys, they still have to kill, you know, all but 5 of the Blue 4 guys to get their 4 points. So is this playing more to Blue 4's strategy to win by grabbing the objectives early and holding the train yard? Or is it playing into Op 4's strategy of dividing up the Blue 4 groups to engage them? And then, you know, work towards their supremacy goal. I honestly can't tell you who's going to win this. It's going to fall to the PvP, because so far the tactics on both sides have been pretty solid. My fear, though, is Micah is probably going to get picked off running out in the open like this, but he could also catch some of the Russian guys off guard, because he's not a lone wolf. He's trying to get back to his group because he spawned late or was AFK. So, I don't know. But now we have this group holding right here, even digging some defensive trenches right now. They might move up a little more, actually. But I think they're scouting their route out, because I think they're going to try to hit both objectives at the same time, because they're thinking Op 4 has some greater defenses, but again, Op 4 is kind of overcommitted to that outer perimeter defense, which I said earlier might have been a mistake. The Rising SMG, it's American, but it fits. That's fair, Tootie. Thank you. Thing fires 45 auto. Oh, yeah, so a G43 would slap harder than 45 auto. But then again, with World War II, no body armor. I mean, if you're shot, right? Oh, man. Week's been good, Don. Thanks for asking. Again, a lot of fun stream stuff to do today. And again, for the new guys coming in, vehicle assets today, Blue 4 has a Panzer 4. And Op 4 has an M2 Scout car, which they have down here, and a German half-track with an MG34, which they've deployed down here.
Send in Goat Team 6.
So Beta Solution, thank you for the 10 subs. If you got a sub from him, it'll be 5 minutes from now, but make sure you thank him. Otherwise, I hope you all keep enjoying the ops. Hope you enjoy this OFCRA battle, and I hope you get a kick out of this. Speaking of which, Micah doing a direct run. He has not noticed that fortification line. Is he going to run right in front of these dudes? He's totally going to run right in front of them. Wait, but Micah's looking on the other direction. What? Micah, turn around. Turn around, you fool. Oh, my God. Hold up. Is Zeke going to notice? Zeke notices, lines up a shot. He goes prone. He's like, wait a second. What the hell? He doesn't realize it's one dude. And Micah's still just running in front of this defense line. Micah, you fool. Zeke has now gotten up. He's looking around going, wait, where is he? Wait, what's going on? Why is there one guy over there? And we just heard the tank open up. Micah now being engaged by that PPSH. And he gets picked off a headshot. Ouch. And now you're hearing that tank starting to shell this radio tower position. There's another round that's coming. Let's see if we can get a tracer going on it to see exactly where the round's going. Yeah, it goes too fast for my camera. Well, I would assume they're trying to hit into this building. No, they're hitting the train station. Are they trying to blow it up? Because it actually looks damaged here. That's a little bit interesting. All right, but first blood goes to Op 4 because Micah, he was in his own group trying to join up with Blue 4. And we have a third guy in that tank now, actually. So driver, gunner, commander, classic combo. That's going to help him out to sight things out. And we've got some Blue 4 guys that have changed position from this group, and they might actually try to sneak up and hit this Op 4 position because you also have guys that have gotten out of the defensive line. Specifically the squad machine gunner. Ooh. So if he's picked off early, that really lowers this squad's capability to deliver fire out, but they still have the MG42, but that's an easy flank shot to make too. Ay, ay, ay. But Alexander, thanks for the 100 bits. I appreciate it, man. So these guys are just 3 riflemen, but, I mean, 3 well lined up headshots, and they can take out a good chunk of these guys. I mean, hell, if they were lined up to take these 3 shots, they'd take out the machine gunner, the other machine gunner, and one of that's the squad leader. Oh, talk about timing, man. But they're not lining up shots. They're looking around trying to figure out, I think, what the next move is, because I'm not sure if any of them have a radio. They were just told to, I guess, hold that position. And Blue 4, I mean, they're still holding that one spot. So Blue 4, they still got 2 guys here. These guys are going to be reinvigorated to hold this position. Yep, Zicky was the guy that got the kill, headshot with the PPSH. But they're going to hold here thinking that wasn't just a single guy, right? There has to be more people around. Perhaps. But Op 4, meanwhile, they're trying to hold right here. They heard that tank, so they know it's somewhere up here. I'm really surprised that tank fired from up here. You can see the effects of it firing next to the infantry. Some of them got overpressured and had to bandage up. Let's see, we're at the 53-minute mark, which means, yeah, about half the time has gone to positioning, and we got a Maxin gun. I forgot to mention, Blue 4 does have a Maxin when they asked me what other vehicle assets are available. So that can be used to spray down into a squad and easily at the very least keep them suppressed, but, you know, maybe get a free kill or two. Oh my god. These three have snuck up. This is what I was talking about. This was a very big issue, and now no one is pulling rear security with the exception of this guy, but he's still looking out in that direction. But you got Sacred back here. I guess he'll be an early warning if he gets taken out as a free kill, because these guys will then quickly turn around. But I wonder if that'll kick off these guys to start shooting at him. What they should do... Oh, no! OFCRA decided to fire first! Maybe thinking they could get a free shot. But what Blue 4 needs to do is start the engagement with this group. These guys will start firing, and then maybe they can distract Audio PID, because Car 98s and Mosin do sound very similar. But for these three Blue 4 guys to, again, shoot all these guys in the back of the head, that would be a very good play. Meanwhile, looking over here, we have a few of these guys trying to engage the Maxin gun. Maxin is firing back, though. No KIAs on anyone except for Micah. And you're hearing some more shots. That sounded like it was done by up here. Not sure what that was about. Gosh darn it. Yep. So that is Roland with the DP-23. He's put the barrel through. I think the bullets are going, they're ricocheting off of the glass, because sometimes when you stick the barrel through, the bullets don't spawn at the end of the barrel. They spawn in the gun going through the barrel, so I think they're ricocheting off of the glass without breaking it. And we have a wounded mark back here. Yep, I think they shot Sky Online. That or he glitched out. I think he actually glitched out instead, because I didn't hear a... I just heard that gunshot. I'm looking for white flashes right now. Yeah, he's being picked off out of that area. But one extra guy down is not going to be helpful for OFCRA right now. They're moving him off this ditch. Blue 4 doesn't know that's going on, but if they did, oh, they could easily wrap up some free kills, because this would be the perfect time for Blue 4 to attack with no one looking and so many guys looking at a body instead. That would be, honestly, 3 free kills right there. We could even see a bayonet kill. But they're not going to move. Also, it is getting dark. And we're hearing more gunshots going off. Looking for those white flashes. We do have one Blue 4 guy down over here. Jules was cut out of the open. He was the machine gunner. But now that tank is moving down to give some assistance. Blue 4 crawling closer. You're seeing some shots. I think they're trying to... Yep, they're hitting the tank. They're trying to hit that commander. Bullets aren't going close. They're actually bouncing off the ground and then hitting the tank. Now you see some machine gun fire going left. And it's slowly getting darker. Looking back at this position, Blue 4 slowly coming up. I don't see... Oh, no, Sky Online, he did get back up. Grenades being thrown. Oh, if only they did that a little earlier, that would have been perfect, but... Now they're turning around, they're looking around, wondering what the hell's going on. Gotland's got the best gun to take these 3 guys out. Got Flish moving up. Block in the open. He has the other PPSH. Another grenade thrown. Grenades being thrown back, though. And Blue 4 has actually collapsed from that area and come around. So, Fleesh gets a headshot on... Who was that? Garrett Hawk. Sacred might also be spotted. Fleesh trying to get a shot there. Second shot going in. He's rolling away. He did get hit. And a grenade goes off and knocks him out. More grenades being... Nope, that's a smoke grenade. Bluck now trying to come around again. Murdy holding that section. Bluck managing to pick off one of these guys. That was Tackle. Random machine gun fire going around. Going to quickly look back up to the north. Still have that unconscious guy. Blue Force closing the gap. So far, it's been a bit of an even trade, though it looks like Blue 4 has more guys than Op 4. So if Blue 4 can maintain a 1-to-1 ratio, they should be fine. So Edberg, he's just firing randomly here. They're basically, Blue 4's done a really good job. They're picking dudes off by staying prone, but Goatland just ran up and used his PPSH to knock out Fleesh there. And we got the rest of this Blue 4 group coming around, stopping Op 4 from doing any wide flanks around here. Goatland's going to run up, though, find Merdy, and spray him down, and that's his second kill. And now you got Blue 4 coming in and doing some additional shots. So really good countering by Goatland there, pushing with that submachine gun, knowing he had the best gun on the field, and quickly taking these dudes out. So he's doing some double taps with, that would be a, I believe it's a TT handgun, but it's basically just a copy of the 1911. I call it a 1911. People make fun of me for it all the damn time. So could have been better for Blue 4. Blue 4 evenly traded right there. Got 3 free kills. We also see Eldberg dead over here. So 4 kills for 3. Not the worst thing, but over on this other group here, they've started making attacks and have been meeting this firm resistance here that Op 4 set up previously, thinking these guys were going to advance on. So these guys are going to have to pick a different angle to go up here. We see 2 Blue 4 men down, one of them being the machine gunner. So Blue 4, they're going to have to reposition that. This southern attack instead needs to consolidate and go for the objective instead. That MG has turned around, and now you're seeing that massive amount of fire coming out, shooting into the Blue 4 defensive line here. Oh, Jonathan, that's risky. Yes, you have a good gun, but you also have the radio. If that MG's paying attention. No, there's a bush right there. He's going to be tunnel visioned right now. But he is just suppressing. I think he only has 50-round magazines or something, because that went by really quick, but he now gets out of that. Jonathan's still crawling around, and some of the Op 4 guys have pulled back, and now they're covering the supply area. All right, looking back to the north, we just saw a Blue 4 guy get hit. That was Monica here. And these guys are stuck. The tank is doing its best, though, to fire into Op 4 areas here. But with little to no effect. Op 4 is also bringing the scout car around. That's going to be a priority target for the tank. Maxin gun still firing on this position. But both sides of the pincer are under contact here. Hold up. We have Jonathan. He's pulled up and gotten a kill. No, he did not. Why is there a missing guy? Bluck's going to catch him out in the open, though. Jonathan quickly tries to throw a grenade. Gets knocked down again. He's got a little bit of smoke to maneuver. Ran out of ammo. Skyline now looking in that direction. And he gets picked off. But Goatland's now going to probably pick Jonathan off. And that's devastating because he has a long-range radio. So now these guys are going to be able to tap into their comms. Could still wake back up. Same with Sky, but there's another guy in this Blue 4 group, because there were 4 total, but he's also down, and Goatland double taps. That's his 3rd kill for this. Not bad. Meanwhile, this other group here has decided to pull back. They're still taking some shots as well. But the southern Blue 4 attack has been pretty much staved by Op 4 by some unlucky decisions. They weren't necessarily bad decisions, just unlucky. And now you're seeing the machine guns off of that tank firing in this building, trying to keep Khalil suppressed, and he's just chilling in the back. Callie, excuse me. Round going in there too. Yeah, I think that thing only has AP rounds, because HE would have taken that building out by now. Whew. Now it's going to be up to the northern Blue 4 group, which had more forces to come in and at least try to get a foothold into this town, but it's quite possible that Blue 4 won't be able to push in. And we just had NASA do a wild spray and actually knock out the machine gunner. Great shot there. Also, wait, that guy's a Gannon. Yeah, so there's a few, the Italians have a few British weapons. I guess for balance, because there isn't that much Italian gear there. What the heck was that? You see that thing for a few frames go up? That was weird. So yeah, the tank has now sighted over here. Their gun sight appears to be a little off, though. They're firing to the right. And you have a DP-23 gunner trying to use his gun like a machine gun. He now quickly goes down. Good thing he did, otherwise his head would have been taken off. Ooh, that tank is angry, though. They got to be careful they don't burn all the ammo, though. But look at that incoming fire. I love it. He's actually digging a second line of trenches here. But yeah, they have this fence here, so they can, like, you know, push up and get off of different spots, and they can make that tank burn a lot of ammo here as long as they are careful. So very good calls there overall. We have an OPFOR man down right here. He's the medic, too. That is very unfortunate. I don't know when he got picked off. Had to have been earlier, though, because all those skulls look the same. But without that, that group isn't going to be able to do any proper medical other than bandaging. No blood bags and stuff. And then this two-man team, just looking at all the AOs, has completely pulled back. They're not going to go into that area themselves. And this Blue 4 group over here has opted to try to maneuver through this town area, but there's still a lot of open ground they'd have to get through, and I think OPFOR is going to be able to keep that area denied, so it's really up to the Blue 4 group to the north to push in. Also, Tuvan, thanks for the 5 gift subs. If you got a sub from Tuvan, make sure you thank him. I hope you all keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a kick out of this one. Yeah, so they added this trench so they can actually climb on top of it to get a better angle, but it's also to help bait that vehicle to fire more rounds at him. And I'm not seeing that Maxin gunner wake up. He's been dragged back and probably patched up a bit, but there's not much he's going to be able to get from Honger here. And I think Honger is actually going to try to find a medic, or unfortunately have to abandon him. Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Blue 4, I believe, had a numbers advantage here, because when you look at this, you got a full section, and then you look at OPFOR, and it barely covers like a little over half. But with that lessened manpower, because I think it's out of the 60 or 70, it's like 35 v 25, which would be 60 total, so it's upscaled that by 10. But regardless, OPFOR's done a really good job of still having a proper defense line here. So we're about to be 1 hour in on this operation. At the 1:10 mark, it will be halfway done with the time. OPFOR, meanwhile, on the southern side, they're repositioning one of their groups. The other group is staying there to be defensive to that other Blue 4 force. I'm going to be honest, I don't think that tank should be firing its main cannon. I think it should be sticking to coax and using those main rounds against buildings and vehicles. Because the main gun is going to do the same exact amount of damage as a machine gun shot, which is a 7.92, I believe, for the MG42. It's going to do the same thing to the head as, you know, a machine gun round. Both are going to probably insta-kill. Yeah, so using those rounds in the building where the rounds can penetrate in, I think is the better choice. But OPFOR, I mean, for 3 guys defending this spot and baiting the tank out, I think is great. And it's trying to give Roland an opportunity here to try to snipe out the commander. And I mean, his bullets are getting close. They're just going a little over his head, but with a little bit of luck, I think he'll be able to make it. So more shots going to the right because they're not able to predict where it's coming from. Now they got it. Tank round just went over. But this is exactly what OPFOR needs to do right now. They just need to keep Blue 4 out in the open, unable to do anything. We're actually seeing OPFOR maneuvering some guys on the flank to potentially hit this Blue 4 force from the other side. That's a very good call. So Blue 4 again trying to divide and conquer here by sending another force to the rear of the Blue 4 attack element. They could potentially catch some of the guys like the commander out of position and help eliminate the entirety of the Italian force. Otherwise, tank pushing up for the Italians here. You can just see the few casualties run around. You're seeing some of these guys trying to engage Roland here. Roland might have heard those gunshots, so he might reposition to try to get in the spot to stop this advance, because this is all open area. So if he starts suppressing with that machine gun, he could probably get a free kill or two. But that tank is going to do its best to try to hold that, stop these guys from firing. But Foxhound, he's going to peek out. Oh, and he gets picked off. And Roland gets picked off too. Oh, that is not what OPFOR wanted. That is their entire left flank. Cali has been holding that building, but now Blue 4 is probably going to be able to get their foot in the door here and take the radio. And in turn, bypass this OPFOR force and start taking objectives. So, oh, Foxhound, he did a little too much by peering out of that corner, exposed himself a little too much trying to line up that shot, got taken out. Roland, though, got keyholed right here. It's a beautiful shot by these guys. Let's see who got him. So I think Minan got one. David got one with that automatic rifle. It's American, as Tootie said earlier. So, yeah, these two guys getting some great shots. One with the bolt-action rifle and one with that semi-auto rifle. So really, really good job right there. Definitely. So OPFOR still maneuvering that force on the rear. We still have 3 guys defending this radio, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to hold against, what, at least 15 or so Blue 4 guys in a tank. Actually, not even 15, more so 10, because that's 4. This is 3, 4, 5, and that's it's about 12. If you count the guys in the tank, then it would be 15. But this 4-man team... Actually, they have 1 guy holding security right here. Even though he's not. He's looking through binos. So 3 guys, I mean, against 3. That's pretty even for PvP. Cali trying to fire at Minan here. Minan quickly gets back. But I'm curious to see if any of these Blue 4 guys are going to see Cali right there as he tries to shoot into his position. Cali hasn't realized that his flank has collapsed. And Blue 4, they did a massive pullout over here. I think they're trying to do a wide flank to come back in to hit that supply area. And you see him doing some... Wow, are they actually communicating with hand markers? That'd be pretty fucking dope, not gonna lie. But they didn't spot Cali. He was being really exposed right here. Liquid might catch him. Nope, that's a little bit in the way there. He's not gonna notice, unfortunately. So resupply is back at spawn, but it's pretty much carry as much as you can, and then at that point, resupply is coordinated later. But there has been the first OFCRA op I covered with NASA, who is playing on OPFOR, by the way. He's over with this group of guys. Sometimes they do base be base, and then the bases also have resupply, but it depends on, you know, what the type of operation they're going for is. Again, my responses are going to be delayed by 5 minutes. We just had a Blue 4 guy... Wait, no. Where's the third one? That was Foxhound's body. Oh, no, so David's running up to try to get a Minan. Minan possibly got hit right here. I think Liquid is now trying to find Cali. But you also have that tank pushing up to cover. This OPFOR force is back here trying to come along the rear. If they were here a few minutes earlier, they would have spotted the ground command guy with that transport truck. But OPFOR needs to start closing the gap because they haven't realized that Blue 4 is making a push in their line. If OPFOR were to push now, they could encircle this Blue 4 attack force, potentially get close enough to bazooka the tank. But I don't think they're going to maneuver in time. So we got more guys crossing up. Cali's doing his best to engage. Tank is now firing back. But Cali knows that the tank hasn't properly spotted him yet. Flip got hit. He has his binos, and he might try to tell that tank to adjust left a little bit. Oh, shit. He got picked off by Cali. Yep, he has a kill now. So Cali was able to pick off that runner. That was David running up. And he's doing his best to pick off more kills because, again, he has the best gun out of all the infantry, the PPSH. He doesn't have the biggest magazine for it, but it can deliver rounds very quickly, and he's using it like a rifle trying to get some shots. He just hit Skywalker here. OPFOR is just throwing random grenades right now. Or, no, I think it's smoke. They might try to do a pullout back to the radio area.
Send in Goat Team 6.
Meanwhile, we see some of the OPFOR guys over here potentially engaging this Blue 4 group, trying to move in, get into the town perimeter. So OPFOR is now going to scramble to try to counter them. Potentially, yep, they're pushing back to the supply area. Again, Blue 4 has to capture it for 2 points. A specific item in there, excuse me. So, yeah, the southern flank for Blue 4 isn't out of the game yet, but that two-man team that was part of the left flank is, I guess, going to come up the railway, but if they keep going north, they're going to be caught out of position.
Let's give them a warm welcome, shall we?
I have no idea where that Blue 4 truck went. Yeah, OPFOR, they've thrown some smoke. They're grabbing their scout car. There's more forces coming behind, but they could yep, they can start closing the gap here and catch a lot of these guys out of position. We also have 3 Blue 4 guys dead right here, potentially by this left flank. Cali still on 1 kill. Machine gun coming down. He was spotted by Aphid here. No, that's Alpha Mile. My bad. Who started firing that Bren gun at him. So let me check Carl, Connor, and this other guy here. Yeah, so look at that. Barros, he's the guy that got those 3 kills. And Carl's on 1 kill too. So 4 kills between them, 5 kills when you include Cali. I mean, they've done a good job considering the low numbers of these squad-on-squad fights. They've done pretty well for themselves. But Little Eat to Mouse, thanks so much for the 4-month resub, my man. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I hope you enjoy this PvP OFCRA stream, and I hope you get a kick out of this. Someone's asking in chat, do OPFOR have AT? They do. They've got some Lend-Lease bazookas at the squad level. Nubas has one.
Leaving for work. Have fun, you all.
And these guys are in sight of the tank. So whether I think they're going to try to crawl up and actually hit it from the rear with the bazooka. It's going to be tough, though, because the engine is turned away from them, but I could still see them do it. Even if they snipe the commander out, that would be excellent. But Beta Solution, thanks for the 10-month resub with Twitch Prime. I hope you keep enjoying the ops as well. Have fun at work, even though you're probably going to be gone by the time this gets to you. And I hope to see you in another stream soon. But otherwise, look at this. Cali's come up. He threw a grenade, picked one guy off. He's on 2 kills now, so I don't know who he killed right there, but he knocked Zente out with a grenade. Cali again trying to suppress. He's fighting 3 riflemen and a Bren gunner. But he still has similar base of fire here. Grenades are being thrown up to his position, knocking against the tree in that little rock wall, though, to save him. So Cali, all he has to do is run around. But if he keeps getting the drop on these infantry, he can easily rack up some more kills. And we see Sergeant Fluffers running away. So tank is now pushing up. I love this. I love seeing infantry pushing up behind the tank. But Carl pulling out, getting another kill. It's just me, Misaza. I could have sworn there was a loader seat in there that the tank could have taken. But at this point, Commander pulling out, looking around there, firing into that building. Koslov and Connor pulling out of that area. Meanwhile, Cali's still trying to look around to get some, try and get another flank on that group. tank rounds going into that building, but the gunner was just shot out by this group of infantry up here. They are now pushing Nubas, literally sprinting with his handgun for a little bit of a speed boost. He is going to have a perfect AT shot on that tank. Will it go down? He's got to range it out. Rocket goes. Perfect hit, and that just killed everyone remaining in this area. No. We still have Misa alive. Second tank AT shot goes in. That entire tank crew is now more than likely unconscious. No, they're trying to pull out. They're detracked. Misa's trying to pull away. More AT coming in from this other group, but the shot was short. Tank is detracked on the left side. See some more shots being shot over here. They just got a kill on the machine gunner. AT just came in from the rear. I don't know if that was a hit or not. We're not seeing any skulls. Tank gun turning the wrong way. And another Blue 4 guy picked off. The Italians are in a lot of trouble here because that northern attack force just completely got slaughtered. Great job by OPFOR maneuvering on this tank here, taking out the commander. It is just up to the driver and gunner. Goatland is running up. I'm not sure if he has demo. Uh-oh. Little lag spike there, but nothing to be worried about. And he just... Nothing to worry about, right? Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Just a little lag spike. Don't worry about it. Don't ever cook AT grenades in your hand. If you move to advance, throw them while you're moving. Sometimes the grenade will clip into your hand, and since it's impact based, it impacts with your hand, it'll just explode. So yeah, they're running up. They're driving around. Settler has gotten out, they're getting picked up. Look at this hippie's trying to get a bayonet kill. And they're getting shot by their own friendlies. Commander getting his head taken off even further. But OPFOR have pretty much secured this tank. The M2 doesn't realize that yet. We got Hunger back here. He was part of the machine gun team. And we have, I believe, the ground command. Nope, this is the two-man group, Mr. White and Manshot. They were from the southern attack. And then we have the 6RB guys, I believe. No, 6EME, different group. But otherwise, Cali coming around, trying to get a shot on Minos here. Hold on. Yeah, so Koslov died. I don't know to what. But Cali getting a pickoff kill on that Blue 4 guy. It's just up to Flip for Flap. He does have a semi-auto rifle that could be usable here. Bluck, I think, might have just spotted him. But look, all these guys have PPSHs. I mean, Flip is in a lot of trouble. Throws a grenade over. Not a bad idea. Wow. Gets some good hits on there, but Flip gets taken out by the power of the PPSH. No doubt about it. Blue 4 unfortunately just got encircled on their attack. Spent way too long advancing. This group was waiting for the others when it should have been pushing in and clearing, and that kept those Blue 4 guys in the open, and the Italians are pretty much smoked at this point. I mean, in my opinion, though, this is pretty historically accurate. I mean, yeah, the Italians would more often than not get bulldozed. So now it's just up to the 6EME guys, but they are already in contact by a OPFOR group over here. We had the DP-23 open up, but we could see an Adriano play here, and these 6 guys can still complete the objective. But speaking of, we have 6 here, 7, 8, 9. So if 4 more guys die, OPFOR gets 4 points. And OPFOR might even maintain the 2 points because Blue 4 hasn't captured the radio or the supply thing yet, so they might get OPFOR might get a perfect score here. I think this has really come... Ooh, that guy's head went off. I think it really came down to Blue 4 did a really good job using the tank, but it wasn't enough. And then at the infantry to infantry level, because Op4 had the better gun at the squad and team level, they were just able to put more out. And again, the DP-23 was the better machine gun compared to the Bren, and Op4 was just able to hold it better. But Blue 4, they did have a numbers advantage too. Look at Clement trying desperately to patch the hole in his comrade's head. But, I mean, once you have a guy doing the splits, he's dead. You gotta remember, nowadays with Ace, if you're unconscious, you'll be down in a very specific animation. One of a few. This is one of them, for example. But if your gun is like kind of out or your legs are doing like a really weird split like this, yeah, you're dead. You are definitely dead. There are still 45 minutes remaining on this round. Blue 4 could still clutch, but with every Blue 4 guy hit, it becomes that much harder. Because once Op4 gets those 4 additional points, Blue 4, in order to gain those points back, is going to either have to hold the train station or kill a bunch of Op4. On top of them, capturing the supplies and the radio. But at this level, with how many Op4 guys are still here, and Op4 again having that PPSH, it's going to be difficult. You guys just saw Sergeant Fluffers running away. Nice. All right, so they're running up behind. I don't think this is a dug trench. This is just a winter dirt texture. They're doing their best here, but look at all these Op4 guys still up. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, look at all the skulls compared to all of the the lack of skulls there. Op4's only lost about 45 to 40% of its force. Meanwhile, Blue 4's lost at least 80%. 75 to 80 would be a better estimation. See a grenade get thrown, but it's not far enough. Blue 4 down to 4 dudes, actually. Another guy got picked off. I could have sworn they had 6. Oh, it was Clement that died. Yep, he ran up. But those grenades not getting close enough. If they were a little bit closer, that would be effective. But Blue 4, between a rock and a hard place, because we got more Op4 guys coming up with PPSHs. Oh, the Italians are trying. Gotta give them that, but they... Oh. The issue is, where do they go? Yep, now they're getting shot at by a PPSH on the northwest. 2 guys immediately picked off. 3 guys picked off, and that is a superiority win for Op4. They have knocked Blue 4 down to 5 or less. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. The slaughter is real. Now you got Bluck running up. He's going to probably tap Blake in the head right here. And he does have a PPSH, and he gets that tap right there, and that's it. I do not see how Blue 4 can win this at this point. They're down to 3 people. They haven't touched a single objective. Op4 is going to get the full 9 points. Absolutely incredible plays here. Both sides had really good strategy. They did their best to close in, but when Blue 4 needed to commit their force to the attack, they stopped and waited for all their units to get online, and that bought Op4 time to close their flank and encircle this force and completely take it out. And then, you know, the stragglers encircle and take out. Blue 4 needed to keep the fights longer range because they had a tank that would have let them keep those fights at longer ranges. They eventually had to charge infantry in, but they were way too cautious about it, and that's what's cost them here. We will cover it to the end, of course, but ay. Just a nasty slaughter there. I would say, in all honesty, that because this fight would have resulted in the fighting close quarters, I don't think it's... Let me actually look up Italian weapons here real quick, because I feel like the Italians could have used a submachine gun. Then again, Tootie was saying that the one gun that the squad leaders had was the submachine gun. So you're seeing squad leaders have a submachine gun, and then team leaders would have a G43. But let me look up World War II weapons. See, it also, I think the Mission Maker did accommodate for that, though, because they also gave Blue 4 a Maxin. It's just Blue 4 put the Maxin somewhere and made them be their own element. When one guy got picked off, the other guy, who's still alive, actually, Hangar, he was completely cut off from the force. So I feel like they should have kept it
Let's give him a warm welcome.
with their, with the main assault force. Because once they lost that, Blue 4 lost a lot of their base of fire, and it just, just helps. It's exactly what the OPFOR guys needed to do. Tootie's getting insulted because I called the DP-23 better than the Brent. Yes, in my opinion, with all the ammo it could pull out, it was better. But now you're seeing guys firing potentially at Hangar here. I actually can't tell. I think they're actually just celebrating instead. But Russians definitely have the better guns here on this line of on this fight, and I'm not really seeing any Italian submachine guns here, so it would make sense. It's crazy, man. Looks like there is one, but that's what they were giving the squad leaders. So, whoo! Hey, Brunswick, how you doing? Oh, shit, you're partnered now. Nice. Congrats, man. It's a big step. But again, we're on a 5-minute delay, so it's going to take 5 minutes for you to get there. But proud of you, man. Good job. All right, how can Blue 4 clutch this? Hangar can take the radio. He can somehow kill Carl and Callie, who I believe both have PPSHs, so that's going to be very difficult to do. I'm going to quickly go to night vision just so I can confirm this. Yep, PPSH, and no, Callie's opted to take the carbine, or excuse me, the submachine gun that the Italians had. But let's say, hypothetically, Hangar with his trusty bolt-action rifle kills them both, gets the 2 points. These guys get the 2 points off the supply depot, so that would give the Italians 4 points. And at that point, that would mean the maximum amount of points the Russians can get is 7. So then from there, the 3 Blue 4 guys will have to somehow, till the end of the server, which is another 40-ish minutes, take control of the train station and keep it from the Russians. You think they can do it, guys? Come on. Inner spirit of Adriano. See, okay, Hunger, what he needs to do is he needs to kill Callie, all right? No, it's Connor. He needs to kill Connor here. He needs to take his PPSH, and then he needs to kill a guy with a PPSH with drum mags, take the drum mags, and then go ham, Adriano style. Do you think he's going to be able to do it? I highly doubt it, but let's see what happens. These two guys, ever since their group fell apart, they haven't really done anything, so I don't know what to call there. Hangar, he's even dropped his hat. He's thinking that the little arrow, the feather in it is going to give him away. He is not going to be Yankee Doodle, because he is an Italian. Which, wait. He did stuff a feather in his hat and call it macaroni, so wait a second. Maybe he is Yankee Doodle. I don't know. Come on. Come on, I believe in you. You just have to somehow kill 2 people with 1 bolt-action shot. All right, it's Sniper Elite. That's what it is. All right, let's go. Maybe he'll catch Callie going on the balcony. Callie really wants to look at the nighttime environment right now. And just have a look around. Oh, he's further back, so it'll be up to Carl to do it. Yeah, so OPFOR, they've just, they set up dudes on the supply base. Now it's going to be 2v1. And they're already being engaged by guys on the train station, and they have 2 bolt-action rifles. Wait, no. Yes, no, that's a G43. So they are throwing a smoke grenade? Yes. And they're going to move up this urban area to the supply depot. Excellent. All right, so I doubt they're going to get shot. Now it's up to Hunger. Carl has ran off. And Callie, it's now 1v1. All right, Hunger, it's up to you. He hears Callie's footsteps, but shutting those doors was a really good idea because now Hunger is going to have to open one of those doors, and that's going to give him away. Carl, though, could collapse back. Could not, though. Callie's now on the balcony. You don't get footsteps on those trenches, though. Hunger hears him. Oh, baby. Oh, Hunger. He's trying to get up there. He would climb right in front of Callie, but Callie would mow him down, so that's a really good idea. Will Callie look down? Will Hunger look up? Wait. Oh, wait, you might camp him out. Hunger. Oh, my gosh. I think Hunger just heard him go deeper into the building. He's got to be careful, though, because we got Carl around here looting feather hats for that macaroni. Blue 4, meanwhile, they're sending 2 dudes up. We got Op 4 guys looking around for him, though. But as I predicted, they're going to use those buildings to move up and try to go for the supply point. There's no one in between them and the supply point. They could take it. Hunger's going to have to go for that door. But Callie is waiting. No, he's not. He's checking that door. Wait, he might have just seen Hunger. Hunger misses a shot. And Callie blows his head off. No. Oh, it's up to these 2 guys now. Oh, that was to be expected, let's be honest. All right. All right. Whew. Okay. It's all right. This is all that's left for the Italians. They will finish the mission. Yeah, right, Brunswick. What do you play mainly today, if you don't mind me asking? All right, so Mr. White, he's trying to get Menchot to climb on top of him to get on this building. Op 4 still looking around, though. Wait. Oh, no. A PPSH guy has spotted them. We all know what that means, chat. It's going to be over. Hovey. No! One of them just got picked off by a bolt-action rifle. No, he's just a little boy. He's 16. He just... No! Oh, no! Oh, have mercy! Oh, God, the grenade's gonna... Oh, that's a perfect grenade throw, and all of Blue 4 is dead. Oh, my God. There was a rocket that just came in, too. Oh... Oh my God. That's GG, everybody. Blue 4 is dead. And Op 4 got a perfect score in that slaughter. Oh God, they're even bayoneting the bodies. No. No, come on. That's cruel. Oh man. What an op. Oh, what a fucking op. Jeez Louise. Anyway, that is it, guys. They're going to do a second game of 30. I'm not going to cover that, actually. I'm just going to chill. And there it is. 17 survivors on the Russian side. They didn't get the 2 points, which is weird. Oh, the supplies got secured. Interesting. I didn't notice that, but yeah, no, Blue 4, I guess, snuck some dudes in here while I wasn't looking and somehow got the supplies. So that is interesting, yeah. Huh. Alright, so not a perfect score, but we still won. But anyway, that is going to be it for me. I will be back in 3 hours to showcase a Zeus op for Paw Patrol. Small scale. They are going to be recovering a data terminal from an AC-130. So thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Hopefully I'll see you in 3 hours. Otherwise, cheers and have a good one.